what we do Friday.
I'll still work and just keep working, so it's not to keep me busy.
Good morning. I will call the February 3rd, 2026 Norfolk Planning Commission meeting to order. Inform the public of the Open Meetings Act posted in the northwest corner. On repeat.
Yeah.
And I'll ask for roll.
Wait.
Here.
Sock.
Here.
Simonson.
Here.
Hupkey.
Here.
Hoffert.
Here.
Kuby. Griffith.
Here.
Keach.
Here.
Ronfelt.
Here.
All right, ask for approval of the full agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Please vote.
All commission members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
Consideration of the approval of the minutes of January 21st, 2026 Planning Commission meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Please vote.
All commission members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
All right. The next is consideration to have city staff prepare a conditional use permit for discussion and action at the regular scheduled planning commission meeting for automobile sales on property addressed as 600 West Omaha Avenue. This item was postponed at the January 6th, 2026 planning commission meeting. Good morning. If you would sign in for us.
A little explanation. What I put up here was what Steve Remus put together for potential parking spots. You guys had kind of asked about that because parking was a big concern, and pulling out onto Omaha and that sort of, came about last meeting. So he put this together to kind of show general parking spots, and that if some are parked in the front, to leave that pathway open so that you wouldn't be backing out into Omaha, that you could do hopefully most of your maneuvering on the lot. Did you want to let them know kind of how you wanted to rearrange it? Because we were talking about having some of the parking for the dealer in the front building, the east-west building. And now we did find out from the state that the 10 parking spaces, according to them, have to be contiguous, meaning there needs to be one place for 10 parking spots. Half can't be inside, half can't be outside for that required 10.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the shop, since right now it's in the back building, we're gonna move to the front building, and we're gonna use the back building for just for displays the car for sale. Because in the back, the building in the back, we have space for 12 cars. Even if we don't gonna have 12 cars, but I mean, it's a space for them.
So you're gonna keep the cars that are for sale in the white building, and then you're gonna move your shop to the east-west tin building.
Yes, sir.
And I'm assuming you got okay from the landlord, to park vehicles in that back lot then?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
He's right there.
Okay. Gotcha, okay.
So then there's no cars for sale on the front.
I would love to have used or two of the parking lot that we are allowed to park in there, like this place that people from Omaha Avenue can see. But yeah, I mean, and we called the state, and they said it doesn't matter if you have 5 inside the building and 2 or 3 on front outside the building. We only need like a one place for 10 in case you have more than 10.
So they need to have 10?
The state requires a minimum of 10 parking spaces in one contiguous area. We called the state yesterday morning when he was in my office to ask if you have the 10 parking spaces, can you also have some in other areas? And they did say yes, as long as there was one place for the minimum 10 required.
Any other questions? I guess I would just like to hear from the property manager, I guess, if you would be willing to come up and speak. Maybe we just have you sign in.
Okay.
And your name, sir?
Bob Rayside Jr.
Mr. Ray said, as far as the parking spots in the back, what are all of those for?
There's a couple apartments up on the far right building. There's 2 apartments up there. So it's parking spots for them. And then there are 2 buildings in the bottom, or 2 businesses in the bottom. One is Olson's Pest Connection and the other is ASC. So they've got some employee parking in the back. They only need about 6 to 8 spots in the back.
So they need legally, they need how many spots for that building, do you know?
I think he was figuring 2 per apartment and then 2 per business, I think when you and the guy came over.
Yeah,
So-
when we came, because the business is by square footage, you figured it was about 1,000 square feet for, combined total for businesses. It's 1 for 200, so you need 5 for the businesses, 4 for the apartments, so you need 9, which is essentially that northern back line there would all be theirs.
And then how many parking stalls are needed for the car dealership business?
Essentially, they needed 16 total, so 10 for the display, 5 for the mechanic, and then 1 extra for like a customer for the dealership. So that's how we came up with 16 last time.
And how many inside do they have, or is there space for?
You said there's space for 12 inside?
In the back building, in the front building, it's more than 7.
So in the back part, there's room for 12. The front, there's room for extra. That business only has 2 people. There's a mechanic and him, so there's actually only 2 of them there.
In the new proposed display area, the white roofed building, is there any other entrance door other than the overhead doors into that building?
There's an entrance from the front through that metal east-west building.
But on the outside?
No, just through, you can get into that metal building through the side, through the alley, or there's an overhead door in the front that's always open. So that would be the 2 entrances.
And after this meeting, they're actually meeting the fire marshal down at the site because it sounds like they need more human doors for the fire marshal because there's just 1 people door right now.
So I'm just trying to get this right in my brain too. So the state requires 10 spots for a car dealership, but those can be inside or outside.
The 10 have to be inside or outside. They have to
gotta
be
be together.
contiguous.
Okay,
But as long as you have 10, say, outside, you can have a few inside. Or if you have all 10 inside, you can have a few outside, as long
Okay.
as you have those 10 contiguous spaces.
okay. Because yeah, I'm just, with everybody parking, I mean, needing them for the business, needing them for tenants, needing them for the customers, needing them for the vehicles that are being sold. I just want to make sure there's enough spots. So it just seems like a lot going on.
So one of the top apartments is owned by the building owner, and he's here 2 days a year. So,
And so the main way to get a vehicle into the white roof building is through the silver roof building?
no, to get a vehicle in, there's actually an overhead door right about where that cursor is, yep.
Okay.
Okay, then you can also pull in through the front, and there's an opening, so
Oh,
you
nice.
can come in from the street and go in.
Gotcha.
But it's actually got 2, yep.
Gotcha. That overhead door from the parking lot must have been put in recently? I didn't see it on Google Maps at all.
No, there was swing doors in it before, and they were just changed to an overhead door,
Okay.
yes.
But a vehicle can fit through there?
Yep, vehicle can fit through
Okay.
there.
Any other questions? Thank you, gentlemen. Any discussion?
If I were to have a business like this and car dealership, this location doesn't make sense to me, and I would try to find alternate locations. Just because of visibility, and I mean, I want people to be able to see my vehicles from the street of Omaha Avenue that's as busy as it is, but I mean, I guess if it legally checks all the boxes and he wants to do it, so be it.
I think I struggle with the same thing. It's that front just, I can't get over the front piece of that. Does it make more sense to have everything, to fit them all in the back? I mean, I think yes. Specifically with the 10 contiguous cars.
I think about our last meeting too, when we had this on here, and just the people traveling through the alley. There's a gal that said that alley is pretty widely used, and so I want to make sure it's safe as well, because that's not a lot of area going from the alley to the big street. And then if you're going to have 2 parking spots there or cars there, it's not a lot of room either.
And it is a cup. Us as a planning commission, you guys as planning commissioners have a say in what goes in it, from a standpoint of, if you don't deem something appropriate, then we've got to make sure that that's in there. Whether it be safety wise, whether it be this, whether it be that. It's just one of those things where, if you want this to move forward, state your opinion in that matter as far as what your concerns are and how do we, voice those concerns through the conditional use permit. I would just add that if that's what you choose to do.
I have concerns that the only access to the display area is either through the service area or through an overhead door. Of safety issues there, of patrons or potential patrons walking in an overhead door where vehicles are backing out or moving around. I guess we could put it in the cup that it'll meet all city, state, and federal requirements. That way, if the fire marshal deems there being an additional people door in it, it's covered.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, I appreciate that, Dirk, to what we can put in there. If it were approved, I wouldn't want to see customer parking right in the front there. It's fine if you want to display a couple of vehicles, but safety,
That would be my adage.
Yeah.
Because, listen, I'm no race car driver, but I'm just thinking of myself with kids in the car or whatever, backing out on Omaha Avenue with semis barreling 45,
Easy
sometimes
T-bone.
miles an hour. That's pretty blind there. I don't want any sort of traffic accident there. So if it were, that would be my opinion, is to zero customer parking in the front.
Yep.
Because that is what my mind goes straight to, is someone backs right out and then a semi just takes them out.
Clobbers them, yeah.
That was my fear from the beginning. So I think if that's something, that, I would. But the problem is there's not a lot of space there. You'd be in a 7-point turn trying to turn around, especially if that garage door is closed to the service center. You're gonna be in a 7-point turnaround, and that, especially if there's cars up front, it's just not ideal. I want the very basic driver to be able to get in and get out, just for,
Yeah.
consistency.
Just how that photo looks, I mean, they don't have to park like this. They can just go and do like this and go to the aisle and take the Omaha Avenue.
That's easy to say, but this photo is very deceiving because I'm looking at Street View right now. There's 4 vehicles there, and it is packed up there. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
There's 2 pickups that would have to back out. I don't know how they're going to get those. I mean, they're hanging over the sidewalk as it is. So I do think the limiting customer parking up front is probably our best route there.
I would agree with that, and I also agree with Martin on the people doors and making sure that we have something in there, because that's a huge safety issue, I think, too.
And you had mentioned the fire marshal.
Yes, they're meeting him after this meeting this morning to discuss this, because when Jean was in my office, we talked to Sean, and because of the change of the buildings and bringing the public essentially into C vehicles, that changes the requirements. So they're going to be talking about that this morning. So I can put something in there about shall follow all fire marshal regulations, just so that we know what it is, and afterwards, I can certainly get specifics from the fire marshal as to what those requirements are if you want.
I think that would be good. I'm guessing they're gonna probably want a people door, man door in the front and the back of that. But
Would that be doable? Having the people doors installed?
I mean, you either do or you don't. That's going to affect, the ability for you to do this. If you're not willing to put in the doors, then it's just kind of kaput anyways. It's not possible.
I understand.
So,
I would like to meet with Dan today and see what are the options, and like talk with the owner, and see how much it's gonna cost, and see if we can do or not. I mean, I don't have an answer now yet. I would like to say yes, but I don't know 100%. But if that's the only one, like that's
I'm just saying, if this were to be approved, you would have to do
yeah,
it.
exactly. I understand.
Right? It's,
I mean,
it's
I
not
understand that.
not an
Yeah.
option, I
No,
guess.
no,
at
I know,
that point. Okay.
I know. In that case, if we are not able to do that, I guess we won't open the business right there.
And I guess just for clarification, you rent both of those places, right? Both of those buildings?
I rent one of them, and the other one is from my partner,
And he rents it?
and he rent it.
Okay. Is all of this okay with the property manager slash owner?
Yeah, no, there again, the door, it's gonna depend where he says the door's got it's gonna depend on what he gives us for requirements for the door. But I mean, I would think it would be possible, but it's gonna depend where he wants to, where we'd have to put it.
So, but as far as the owner goes, it's all above board?
Yep.
Because I would be pretty upset if I didn't want this here and we approved this and then he's like, what the heck? What is why is there a used cars, operation
Yep, the
being
owner's-
operated?
The owner's aware of what's going in there. And like I
Okay.
say, he's open to a door, it's just gonna depend if they want a door, where it's at.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to, I guess, put that on the record, so.
I would think if there's going to be a door required, it would be from the public area of the building.
Yeah. On the north side.
I'm assuming we're gonna have several things from the fire department that are gonna need done, so I think putting that in the cup is just our moving forward point from now. We do that and see where we go from there.
Yeah. Val, is there any, if this were to approve, if the cup were to be approved with what we've decided on as far as conditions of the permit, if that were to be approved today, city staff prepares it, the meeting is held with the fire marshal, fire department, all of those, is that preventative? Like, can he just take the cup and run?
No,
If they
this,
start, Xing things and nixing things and whatever?
today, if you vote to move this back to staff, it's just to write the cup with the conditions, so there's still that
There's
next
2 week
meeting.
buffer as far as amendments and things if we needed to do something.
Right, so this wouldn't come back for an actual vote on the written cup until the 18th.
Okay.
And at that point too, we can, if things come about from the fire marshal, or if what the fire marshal says you need to do to make this happen, and you go, no, that's too expensive, or the landowner says, I don't want that done to my building, then you can just kind of let us know, and then we can
We
just.
scrap it.
Right.
Okay. I think we're trying to just look out for the public and give you every opportunity to do it. I don't want to scrap it before it's too late, I guess, I think is part of it, but
I understand.
is there any other concerns, questions for the applicant? So, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other thoughts, comments?
Like Val said, we're only approving for staff to put together the cup today. We'll get a second chance at this. And, I guess that's all I have to say.
Seeing that, I'd take a motion.
Do we want to,
Yeah.
any other
Oh, I'm
conditions to
sorry,
be
yes.
included, so she has
So
an idea.
time frame, how long do you want to give it to them?
5,
Okay. And then,
just based on the size of everything, I think 10 maybe a little long.
and personal privilege like usual, right, to the applicant.
Yeah, to the applicant.
And then the other conditions I have, just being specific, 10 contiguous display parking stalls in the northern concrete block building. No customer parking in front along Omaha Avenue, display parking only. And then shall follow fire marshal regulations, and then I'll put the specifics in there that is needed after they meet today. Anything else? I don't know if you want.
This was just a thought, I guess, as far as, do you guys want to limit that on the south side of the building where those 2 spots are? Do we want to limit how many display cars can be there?
Oh, that's good.
But I also, if there's no customer parking, is it that big of an issue? So I just would raise that comment.
I would like to see designated customer parking in that back lot, not just, if there's one open, a customer can park there.
And then what about display cars in the front?
I'm okay with the display cars in front.
Do we want to limit how
There's no-
many
yeah, if there's no
spots can be
customer parking
considered?
up there, I think. Would be fine.
But
I
what happens
don't-
when they have to move those, and then it's gonna potentially be the same scenario as it could be with a customer? At least that's where my mind went.
Hopefully they're a little
4 or
bit better
5.
at maneuvering than
Well, yeah,
my 68-year-old mother or whomever, that's just
I understand that.
my
I
thoughts.
just-
Personally, I think I'd rather have it full of display cars up there, because those are gonna move less, and you're gonna keep customers from parking up there if the spots are already taken, so I don't think we limit that up there.
Okay.
It looks like there's about room for, I'd say, 4 display cars, to still keep a pathway to their overhead door open with the driveway. I don't think we want
And there's
Maybe.
a sidewalk you gotta be
Ish.
careful of too.
Yeah.
Ish.
3 or 4, maybe. 3 or 4 would be pushing it, I think.
Any other specific conditions for Val?
Okay, now, so,
Okay. Back, yeah, I gotcha.
maybe if we can have like a 3 or 4, we don't have to use like,
I see, yeah. Kind of 3, yeah, probably 3 on the east side of the door, and then 3 on the west side of the door.
I don't know, it's up to you guys, but I just wanna show you like how it could be like only with those 3, you know? And then we don't have to use like that space,
Yeah.
and we all wanna be the one
Val, any other, so we have the no customer parking in the front on that south side.
Yep,
Designated parking in the back,
right,
designated customer parking.
Okay,
yep,
thank you.
All 10 in that north building,
yep. The fire marshal,
in the fire marshal, any
Five.
state, federal applicable codes.
yep, 5-year time frame, personal privilege to applicant, and how many, because I thought limit the display to so many vehicles along Omaha Avenue and maintain a pathway on private property for vehicle maneuvers, so that you're not in and out of Omaha Avenue. That way you keep your pathway open.
And then of no blocking the sidewalk. I mean, that might be in the state or, local municipal code, but I think it needs to be flat out stated as no blocking of the,
No overhang of any vehicles across the sidewalk.
so, I mean, I know there's not a ton of traffic on that sidewalk, but it's just. It's also winter time, so there's not a lot of traffic out and about anyways, but.
So how many vehicles did you want to limit the front to? 3, 4? What did you guys decide? To keep the
I would
pathway
say,
open?
I would say no more than 4.
Okay,
From that picture, he looked like he had space for 3 on the east side of the door. And I'd say there's at least space for 3 on the west side. It's a long drive though, a long entrance into it. It's a wide entrance. I can't confidently call a number, I'd say, without seeing the cars there.
well, if you go by Steve's, I mean, here are the 2 parallel parking. So from the white line up, that needs to be maintained as a pathway to maneuver on site. Because the white line is the back of the sidewalk.
Because they're gonna have to get cars out of that building that they're working on also.
Okay, so where are those cars gonna go? Like if you're trading out and you have, one coming out waiting for the customer to pick it up and one going in and.
Presumably in that back lot. So,
I think we have to limit it to 3 now. I didn't think about the overhead door being right there in the middle. They're gonna need room to go in and out with other cars there. And if they're the ones backing out onto Omaha Avenue, this conversation's been for nothing. I think you gotta limit it to 3.
That's kinda what I was thinking in the beginning.
Yeah.
any other specific conditions that you guys think need to be addressed?
Would we want to suggest signage be on there, directing that that is not a customer?
Could that be included in that no customer parking?
So designated customer parking in the rear parking lot and signage along Omaha of no customer parking or something like that? Okay.
Any other conditions? I take a motion.
I would move for consideration to have city staff prepare a conditional use permit for discussion and action at the next regular scheduled planning commission meeting for an automobile sales on property addressed as 600 West Omaha Avenue.
Second.
First and second, please vote.
Voting in the affirmative, Keach, Hupkey, Sock, Griffith, Hoffert, Simonson. Voting in opposition, Ronfeld and Waite. Motion carries.
Thank you. At this time, I'd open up the public hearing at the request of Teresa Ramirez and Janet Oberhauser to consider a zone change from OD Office District to R3 Multiple Family Residential District on property generally located southwest of the intersection of South 16th Street and Park Avenue. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning. My name is Ignacio Machuca. I'm with IMP Construction. And IMP Construction and the group want to partner up in this lot. It's been vacant forever. We would like to do some townhomes in the property. The lot south of it is already R3, and
Is that owned by the school, Val? Approximately how many townhomes are you thinking?
we're getting it surveyed, but probably about 10 of them.
And then is there all the infrastructure already in there, sewer?
We would get it in. We already talked to the city where the water, sewer is. We've talked to the power company where the power would come.
Okay. And then you'd be responsible, they're just, as far as the street goes?
It'll be a private road going in.
Okay.
So it'll be maintained by the property
By the
owners,
homeowner?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever, there's enough room in there for emergency personnel?
Yes, we did talk to Sean Fire Marshal. We would have to do like a circle drive so they can go in and out at the end of the driveway.
Okay. As far as those trees go, that's all, is that all an easement right there?
On the east side, that's actually public right-of-way.
Okay. So they're not gonna be able to touch that or anything? Start
No.
knocking down trees?
Correct, yeah.
I could see the neighbors being somewhat frustrated with that, I guess, if that was the case, but,
It's a
Well,
nice
it-
privacy fence.
yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
It is public right-of-way, so I mean, if ever we needed a street to go in there, then obviously
do
they
it,
would
yeah.
be gone, because that public right-of-way is the only access to this piece of property right now. So if anybody ever wants to
Buy
buy
that.
and develop that, then we'll have to get them there.
Fair enough. Any other questions for Mr. Machuca? Thank you.
Yep.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to speak for or against this matter? Good morning.
My name is Sandra Duncan. I am the power of attorney for my mother that lives at 1501 Park Avenue. She has dementia, so that's why I'm here. She doesn't quite understand what's going on. As I guess, potential homeowner, when she's gone, because it will be transfer on death to my brother and I when she passes away. The valuation of property could go down because of the townhouses. We're also looking at traffic with the school. Right now, when the people come to pick up their kids, they all park on both sides of Park Avenue. Sometimes as far down as the 1505. Is that your address, Mike? 1507. Which is on the other side of the trees when they're coming to pick up kids. My husband and I actually live on 16th Street, closer to Norfolk Avenue, and morning school traffic can be quite interesting. Sometimes around noon when the kindergartners are coming and going, and then of course in the afternoon when kids. I do see, townhomes having children and it being easy for them to walk to school because Mike's wife and I used to both walk to school because the property that they have was their parents' property also. So it just seems like putting 10 more units in there could be a lot of congestion, as well as the size and their parking. It doesn't seem like it'd be quite enough space for parking lots and homes. I know that, the land has been there since I was a baby. In the alfalfa field there, that's pretty much what used to be there. I don't know how that would work with because is it the school that owns the south piece of property? That big square there. The school, yeah. I don't know if there's plans in the future for what the school wants to put in, a bigger gymnasium, more classrooms, things like that would then really, congest things. A couple of houses up 16th Street, there were a couple old houses and there's two small, well, see, they're not even on that map. Those two empty lots, the second one and the third one north from, yes, those two. They put in two nice buildings. Did you guys build those two?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So just single-family homes, something like that I think would be a better fit for the neighborhood is to keep those as the single-family homes. But then it's, goes back to the access, the street access. I'm not sure what the city rules are when they put in streets. I do remember as a child when they paved Park Avenue, that a lot of the residents had to pay for it. And then they put in the bridge that you can't see anymore. There was an old wood bridge there. So I don't, Mike is the only one I know that has property that would have to, and it wouldn't be fair to him to pay for a street, to go in there.
For clarification, this would fall on the developer.
Yes, the street will be done by.
Yeah, he said it would be a private entrance, yes. So, but if it were to be single-family homes, depending on how many you could fit in the L, then would it be go back to that rite of passage and take the trees out and put a street there.
Yes, if they all turned into single-family detached, then we would have to put the street in because with what they're planning, we don't need to touch the right-of-way because it's essentially going to be a driveway into their
Right.
parking. But if you put single-family houses along there, then you would actually have to put the street in because you couldn't cross other people's property.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And a sidewalk. There's not a sidewalk there right now on that side, and you'd be surprised how many kids run down the middle of the street because there's no sidewalk. Well,
with
there
the
is
buil-
one on the north
With the
side,
building
but
permit, that would trigger
the
a
sidewalk.
sidewalk.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. No, that I understand too. So I know the daycare just recently added extra gravel. Can't really tell on the old map, but for parking for their employees. So they did add that.
Any other comments?
Mike?
Thank you.
Do I put my mother's address on here or my own address?
Yours.
Okay.
Iggy, can I get some clarification? Are these gonna be for sale, owner-occupied units, or rentals?
Rentals.
I'm just finishing this thing for my mom.
Would the private drive be on the east of the property?
It'll be, yes, correct, on the east.
This is still a public hearing. Was there any other questions, comments?
Hello, Mike Tolkien. I live at 1507 West Park, so I'm right across the tree line from them. One of the bigger concerns is just the space over there. If you look over on 15th and Park, there's a triplex right there on the south side of the road. And anything, you put a driveway down that side, there's not going to be really a lot of space for anything over there. Like Sandy said, the added traffic with the school there, the daycare next door, it's probably the bigger concerns. We'd like to see something in there, but like I say, we want it to be taken care of and, stuff like that. But, so don't really have a whole lot else other than, just the space of the area and what they're looking at, 10 townhouses in there would be awful tight for everybody for parking and stuff like that.
Is there parking now allowed on both sides of Park there, or either side of Park?
Yeah, it's open parking on both sides.
There
So-
will be parking spots designated to each unit, a minimum of 2
Yeah, on their
So,
property.
on their
Yeah.
property.
It's required.
Yeah, that property I'm at, my father-in-law bought that in '59, and then my wife inherited it, and we moved in there. So we've been there, family's been there a long time.
But you don't own the lot to the south of your
No,
house?
that's actually, a doctor owns that, and it's in trust right now. We've looked into it before. Dr. Desai, I don't know, remember Dr. Desai? I believe it's in trust right now since he's passed away. So it's been kind of sitting empty. We've been mowing about half of it just to, because they kind of quit taking care of it. The back half is just weeds 3 foot tall, and you can see a little trail through, like a little drive back there that we've been mowing to the north of that and keeping it up, just because we don't want weeds right up to the back of our property. So,
Thank you.
yep.
Iggy, would these units have garages or driveway parking, or what's
They'll have
that?
driveways and garage.
And garage, yeah.
There'll be 2 to 3 bedrooms.
As for the public hearing, anyone else like to speak? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and open for discussion.
I think,
Good morning, my name is Paul Duncan. I used to help mow and take care of the Mrs. Ramirez property.
Would you just come up here and
Sure.
speak and sign in?
Good morning, my name is Paul Duncan. I used to take care of the property by mowing, picking up trash, tree limbs, things of that nature on that L-shaped piece of property. I'm curious, my question is this. Park Street runs east and west. 16th Street shows it's running north and south into the trees. Where will this driveway, private drive access to Mrs. Ramirez's property? Does anybody have any idea or proposition of where that street might be?
So it'll be right on Park Street. It'll be lined up with the tree line.
Oh, on the west side of those tree lines?
Yes, on the property line, or in the property.
Oh, in the property.
In the property.
Oh, I see. Okay, that answers my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any discussion?
I think in regards to school traffic, we're never going to avoid that. It's horrible, no matter if it's Bel Air, Montessori, Norfolk High, or Northeast Community College. It's horrible everywhere. But I think we also have to remember that this is just for a zoning change. We're not talking about building plans or anything like that right now. Val, will you pull up the zoning map again? We're supposed to see if it fits, and to me, it looks like it fits better than what's there currently.
I agree with that.
It's funny to see that agriculture right there.
Yeah. Well, that space has not been used for really ever. I mean,
So is the, where the cursor is now, is that the spot? We can't quite read it.
Yep.
As office, yeah. And the A is that school?
Parking lot.
Yeah.
The A is just a random piece of ag that the school owns.
Okay.
Yeah. It shouldn't be ag in the center of town, but the schools, they don't have to change zoning. They can be anywhere, so it just kind of is what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
it's always been an alfalfa field, so that's ag.
Yeah.
So,
That's not the field right now. There's a big parking lot in that area.
oh,
Right.
is that, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, that other one is easier to see what's where.
around the playground.
What does the CUP stand for with the slashes through it?
That's a conditional use permit. I don't know what they got as a conditional use permit for that,
And
but,
that's where the triplex is.
mm-hmm.
And then we have to go.
And it fits.
There's no other discussion. I take a motion.
Make a motion to consider recommendation of a zoning change from office district OD to R3 multiple family residential district on property generally located southwest of the intersection of South 16th Street and Park Avenue.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please vote.
All commission members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
This time, any other open topics or concerns? Seeing none, I'd take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I will.
Perfect. Sorry.
Okay, all right, good to know. I know, I'll have to practice it.
No Sharpie today?
I know, I came ill prepared, I apologize.
Just don't let it happen again.